extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. The film is directed by Joe Berlinger. It stars Zac Efron, Lily Collins, John Malkovich, and Haley Joel Osment. The movie tells the story of Ted Bundy, but not only through his eyes, but also in the eyes of one of the women that was in a deep relationship with him, named Liz Kendall. You see what happens to her and her psyche throughout the relationship, the arrests, the accusations, and the trial. This movie ended up going to Netflix just like Joe Berlinger's documentary of Ted Bundy that just was released earlier in the year. There always seems to be this crazy fascination about serial killers that people want to understand. They want to understand what's in their head, in their mind frame. Not only did they want to eat that up through the documentary, I guess they also wanted to make a movie to recreate exactly how it went down. To be honest with you, there is really nothing special here. The one interesting aspect that I will find is that you don't get an hour and a half worth of Ted Bundy just killing people. Berlinger decides to take it in the direction of actually wondering whether he is innocent or not, even though you already know the end result. Now, what are the good things that I can say about this film? The performances, most notably Zac Efron as Ted Bundy. This type of role is prime real estate for someone like Zac Efron, who wants to be taken more seriously after things like High School Musical and Neighbors, you name it. I always like this kid. I always think that he is a tremendous talent, always extremely dedicated, and now he has a role that he can sink his teeth into. And he knocks it out of the park. Pretty fantastic, very convincing, very charismatic, and those are all the things that people admire about Ted Bundy, right? Lily Collins gives a very charming and sensitive performance as Liz, but even though she is the second lead in this film, unfortunately she doesn't have a lot to do. More on that later. Another performance I gotta point out is John Malkovich. This man just plays the judge in the trial, but man, I can hear this man talk all day, especially when he gives that title quote. Peter and I were sitting down about this movie and we couldn't agree more about John Malkovich. Enough praise. Now, the things that I had problems with the film. Well, I never really dove deep inside the mind of a serial killer, therefore I never really felt the point of the film. In the end, this turned out to be more of a greatest hits of Joe Berlinger's documentary. Hey, remember when we talked about this situation? Well, look at how it played out over here. It's just extremely unimpactful. Now, I was talking about Lily Collins before. The problem that I had by choosing that character as one of the main characters in the storyline, while she has a secret that she's trying to keep inside and she is struggling emotionally, psychologically, through the trial and through all the phone calls that Ted Bundy's given her, basically stalking her, there's really not much story to be told. We just watch her sit around, drink, get sad and mopey. Not one to say, oh, who cares? But in a feature-length film, it really just doesn't add up to much. Either that or Joe Berlinger just couldn't make that aspect interesting. Of course, we get little pop-up performances from the likes of Jim Parsons as the opposing lawyer, or Kaya Scodelario as an old flame that wants to help him out. That seems a little crazy too. And when you see Kaya Scodelario and Zac Efron, you start thinking, wait, that's the movie. That's what should have been the main focus of this movie. Why didn't we make that the main focus? Missed opportunity for sure. This movie was going to be released in theaters and I'm kind of thankful that it's not. While everybody wants to praise Zac Efron and I think that he did a great performance, I think that this movie would have crashed and burned in theaters. I think it fits right with that Netflix home where people can come home and watch it and kind of binge watch it with the documentary, because there's really not that much to say about the film, especially if you watch the documentary. It's just the greatest hits of that, and it doesn't give you any new insight, any new understanding. Overall, I'm gonna have to give this film 2.5 stars, just strictly on the performances. They all did a great job. Zac Efron is very convincing, but film-wise, this is, bland storytelling, slow, kind of a bore. If it wasn't for Efron and Malkovich, I probably would have just fallen asleep. Well, once again, guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you see here, click like at the bottom. We got more reviews coming your way. This is Rick from LiveWire. Once again, thanks for watching.